PENGO from the West Coast. I'm a pioneer from the West Coast. I started in '83. I learned graffiti through a documentary that I seen from out here, you know, brought it to the West Coast. You know, I was already dealing with spray paint and everything due to the fact that the neighborhood I lived in. I grew up in the barrios of the Mission in San Francisco. That's predominantly a Latin neighborhood, Puerto Rican, Black, and Creole. So, you know, in order to survive, I had to, you know, join the gang, do whatever, you know, just to, but I always was the one that had the better, like, tagging for all the names and stuff. I would write all our nicknames down on the wall, like the whole roll call. They were like, oh, give me the my name is a spinoff from my gang name. My gang name is Penguino. So after that, I just dropped the U and the I, and then one day I was looking for a name to tag when I started doing graffiti, and I came across one of my old gang tags. So I was like, damn, I remember I used to write like that, and I messed up and made a O out of the U. And I was like, oh shit, PENGO. And I was like, if I keep that as a tag, it'll also, you know, be being myself, being, you know, still original. And you know, because of my street name and stuff, so everybody's like, what happened to Penguino? I said, I just dropped the U and the I and just, you know, kept the O, the G and the O, and just made it PENGO. Now I'm doing, you know, this New York style of writing and shit, you know, and that kind of got me around all the other neighborhoods. I can walk to other Terps and all that, because they wasn't on that, oh, this guy, he's into that graffiti shit, he ain't banging no more and shit like that. So graffiti kind of saved my life in a way, you know, in a positive way, that I still had the street respect, and it wouldn't look like I was a punk or anything, but you know, I'm running a spot in Frisco called Lilac Girl Project. I'm giving people spots and stuff. It's sort of like our 5 points out there, but it's in the alleyways and stuff like that. So we got like 6 alleys. I was running all 6 of them, but then I started seeing potentials in my other boys, and they was always sending me people, hey Pengo, can my boy get a spot? I got some people coming from Germany, can they get a spot? So this dude that was asking me, his name Joker, right? And he was like real active, and he was like still bombing, doing it the old school way, because back when we started, he was just a tagger. So he said, I want to come up and do it the right way. I don't want to just go straight to painting and stuff like that without getting my name noticed first, like that. He said, I don't want to be noticed just for my tags. I want to start, you know, doing throw-ups, doing this and that. So he did that. So when he kept asking me to let people paint, I said, why don't you take over that alley, because it's kind of hard for me to manage all 6. So I gave him 2. I run the main first one. It was called Lilac. It started in 207. The second one started in 208. I gave him that one. And then after that, we have another one that started in 2012. That's Cypress. We all got different names for the alleys. Mine is The Lack. Osage is Joker's Playground. And then Cypress, since the song or the group Cypress Hill, we just name it Cypress Hill. So, you know, just to give you that, you know, just a little meaning to every, oh, you want to paint Cypress Hill, you know, everybody's trying to paint major spots. So you either get one in here, get one in each, and then that way, you know, it's kind of like going all city in a way. So that's basically where we at. And then now we have like mural tours coming through there and stuff like that. Even if you go to San Francisco and you get a tour guide, it'll say Lilac Mural Project. So that's how much it's become, you know, a big thing out there and stuff. A lot of people from Europe, a lot of people, even people from here, when they came out, I put them on a wall and stuff like that. So it's all love out there. You know, we got respect for people over here in New York, because this is what we learned here from and stuff like that. So we always want to, you know, pay homage. We did a piece for when was that Is the Wiz passed away. Stan 153 lives out there now. He lives in Stockton, but he comes to the city, and he had, you know, he had a wall in the alley. So we was like, hey, let's give a tribute to Stan. And I had one of my young partners that was coming up in the game, named Chef. I taught him, like, you know, you also got to give back. So you don't just do yourself. You always, you know, pay homage to those that came before you. So he mastered up the video for it. It's on YouTube. It's called SF Tribute to Is the Wiz. You can look it up. That's 2009 when he passed away. All of us are on there putting in our little, you know, even if you just did a little bit, just be a part of it, just, you know, pay that respect. So that's basically where we at. Anybody that passed away, we just did a piece out there for Gary's daughter, Nika. And, you know, the wall that we did it on, some new owners had bought it and they didn't want graffiti on the wall, so they buffed it, so it didn't have that much time to run. But we got the pictures out to Gary, and you know, we made the connections, so everybody out here seen it and stuff like that. People wanted to go out there to see it live, but by that time I already let them know that it's been taken down and this and that. So I'm out here, you know, keeping the love going, paying some more respect, and, you know, showing the love to Gary, because he's our crew leader from Vandals on this side, which I'm a part of. So I'm also a part of crews in my city, in San Francisco. RMA, that's Rebel Minded Writers, and a crew, since I moved to the other side of the Bay, it's called Berkeley. It's sort of like short little distance from Oakland, so it's really like Oakland / Berkeley, right? And they have crews out there that got some king crews out there, so I got down with a crew called TNS. It's the night shift or whatever, you know, whatever thing you want to call it, you know, abbreviated for and stuff like that. So sometimes I write, you know, the newest member signed and something like that, because it's TNS. So, you know, just trying to keep it all going and stuff like that. I've been doing it since '83. My birthday this past on the 27th Wednesday. I came out here, you know, to celebrate Bethune Keto. His birthday's today, so you know, just having the ball, meeting all the old school writers, and just, you know, making myself more of a member now that I'm putting it down with the legends that, you know, that got it all started. So I feel more honored and more of a member now that, you know, this is like my final stamp approval of being an ex-Vandal from the West Coast.